Okay. This is the children's literature activity. I found a book called Circumference, and the first roundtable. There's a series of these circumference books that um, tell stories that involve different aspects of geometry. In this particular story, this talks about um, King Arthur and his knights, and one of his knights is Circumference, who is married to Lady Di from Ameter, and they have one son named Radius. And they go through a series of problems involving the table. First, they say it's too long and people can't hear each other, and they end up going through a series of shapes and came up with problems as far as fitting everybody around the table or being able to see everybody. And they go through a lot of different shapes, pretty much. And eventually they get to where um, they finally come up with the idea of a circle. And in this part of the story, there's Lady Di. She reaches from one end of the circle to the other end. And her son Radius, of course, goes about halfway to the circle to the edge. Um, you can probably guess where that's going. They end up making the round table, and Circumference comes up with the idea of leaving the bark around the edge. Um, so um, they come up with a plan. They were going to war, but they all decided to make peace with their neighbors, and it was a happy ending. And the King Arthur shows his gratitude by naming the distance from one edge of the circle down the middle to the other edge the diameter, in honor of Lady Di from Ameter. And they also name the measurement from the center of the circle to its edge Radius after their son, and the measurement that goes around the outside edge of the circle, they named it the Circumference after Circumference. And they all live happily ever after. And the activity that I came up with for this book is to give the students this page, and it, it has 3 circles with blue lines and a space for writing. And of course, it's going to be, what is this blue line called? Um, then we'll discuss the middle line. What is this called? And of course, this one, the radius. And then I was thinking on discussing how we figure, if we only have the radius, how can we find out what the diameter is? And since this is for 3rd and 4th graders, I don't think I'm going to get into how to come up with the circumference yet, especially since right now they're just now learning about an introduction to algebra. So I think this would be a good enough activity for where they are right now. And that would be my activity.